Abort flight, dad battling ALS pleads with Senator Jeff Flake to vote no on tax bill. Ady Barkan had spent a week trying to get lawmakers' attentions and giving speeches outside their offices, ending in an arrest. So when he heard Arizona Senator Jeff Flake was on his American Airlines flight to Phoenix, he saw his moment. Optional: a 33-year-old father battling ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, was flying home last week after traveling to Washington, D.C., to protest the tax bill when he came face to face with one of the lawmakers he most hoped to influence. Ady Barkan and others had spent a week trying to get lawmakers' attention and giving speeches outside their offices. So when he heard Arizona Senator Jeff Flake was on his American Airlines flight to Phoenix, he saw his moment. He is the single most important swing vote in this tax bill, and I need to tell him my story to vote against it, he recalled on Friday. Barkan said he was a healthy person just a year ago. Now he lives with ALS, an incurable disease that destroys nerve cells in the body. I walk with a cane. I have trouble breathing, and I can't pick my baby up, he said in one of the videos, which were recorded and posted by Lou Gehrig, a passenger he met while boarding the plane. I wanted him to hear my story and answer some questions and hopefully persuade him to vote against it, Barkan told the Republic. He then asked about cuts required by PAYGO, a budget acronym for the pay-as-you-go rule, which requires spending cuts to offset new spending or revenue losses. The Republican tax cut bills, which are expected to add about $1.5 trillion to the national debt over 10 years and do not include corresponding spending cuts, could trigger the rule. That means the White House Office of Management and Budget would be required to identify about $150 billion in annual spending cuts to bring down revenue losses. Read more, college students, here's why you could pay more in the Republican tax bill. Read more, how will the tax bill conference committee work? Not the usual way. Barkan is worried Medicaid and disability funds could be gutted. Flake told Barkan that House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell intend to waive PAYGO for the cuts, but it's not entirely their call to make. I voted in favor of PAYGO, implementing it, Flake said. But it's waived every time, and that's part of the problem. We never do the cuts. Flake goes on to tell Barkan that tax reforms are needed to help the economy break out of the relatively sluggish 1.8% annual growth seen in recent years. Barkan notes that the government's own nonpartisan estimates indicate that, even when accounting for the full economic effects of the tax cuts, something known as dynamic scoring, the plans will drain revenue, not add to it. Flake said the scoring misses at least some of the growth Republicans expect under the tax cuts. Later in their conversation, Flake said the U.S. corporate tax rates leave the nation out of step around the world on corporate tax rates. A Treasury Department report under the Obama administration found that the tax rates businesses actually pay is significantly lower than the 35% sticker price and is actually less than many other industrialized nations, including the United Kingdom, Germany, and Japan. Barkan praised Flake's stance on Dreamers and called on Flake to withhold his vote on the tax bill in order to get a legislative solution to immigration issues. This is your moment. You gave this speech. You're leaving in 12 months. You can force them to get a clean DACA bill by January 1st, Barkan said. Flake said he has talked to Vice President Mike Pence and thinks we'll get a solution. I hope it's before March. Flake said that he, like Senator John McCain, is not happy with the process.